Imagine trying to create an entirely new soundtrack for a cartoon for today's generation. Where do you even start? What does that sound like? What is the music supposed to feel like? When I started asking myself these questions, one of the first places I kept landing was a show that came out over a decade ago. Adventure Time! And not just because it's nostalgic for me, but because it served as a foundation for so many other unique cartoon sounds. Hello, Princess. Princess, I'm happy you're here. Hi guys, my name's Triston. If you don't know me, you're about to. I like to make videos where I just yap about music and my interests and hobbies. So let's break down exactly how they did it, because understanding their lore and process changed how I think about my own music, and I think it might do the same for you. The primary composers across most of the show's run were Casey James and Tim Kiefer. What's super interesting about them is that they didn't come from a traditional animation scoring background. Most composers come up through orchestral training or film score programs, but these two came from their own band together called Casey James and the Stay Puft Kid. I personally believe that that's where a lot of the show's whimsy comes from. It's not overly calculated music theory, but just what happens when two people who genuinely love strange and unique sounds are handed a cartoon and told to make it feel real. In an interview, when yapping about how they decided which sounds fit where and how to mold these pre-existing genres to create something new, Casey notes that he wanted an atmosphere gripped with juvenile silliness and unbiased curiosity, recalling the time in life where everything is new. What I got from that is that he wanted to capture that childlike whimsy while also giving the show personality and texture to immerse audiences into each different episode and the world within each one. I've been a huge fan of Adventure Time ever since I was super little. I used to have a mini BMO figurine, a BMO backpack, and even the Akai Ridian. I even remember that there was this game called Mix It that Cartoon Network had on their website where you could make music by choosing clips and templates from various Cartoon Network shows like Amazing World of Gumball, Regular Show, or just clips and templates from Adventure Time. That was really the first time I saw and felt that the music in Adventure Time was super unique. Now, if you've been watching this channel, you already know the 4 things I look for in a project that actually makes it feel like a world. Those things would be story, interpretability, visual identity, and architecture. I broke all of these down in my last video, so you should definitely check that out if you haven't yet. But Adventure Time's music, in my opinion, has all 4 of these characteristics. Now, we're only gonna look at a few songs out of the 100 plus that they had in the show, so bear with me. Number 1 is story. Most cartoons use music the way you use background noise. It fills the space and you don't typically notice whatever's playing, but Adventure Time uses their music almost like a narrator and really communicates the feeling of what's happening in a scene to push the narrative forward. Take the BMO Noir episode, for example.
Just as I thought. Not even opened. I fell right into his trap.
On the surface, it reads like a filler episode because BMO plays detective while Finn and Jake are away, but the music tells you exactly what kind of world you're in. There are traditional noir film undertones, of course, like jazz notes, a piano, but underneath all of it, synths and bells hitting inconsistent tones and unresolved chords. Nothing quite lands when you expect it to.
Oh, Officer Davis, thank goodness. I didn't listen to that cop. I needed to find Ronnie. She looked as beautiful as ever.
That unease is intentional because this is the world through BMO's eyes in this particular episode. The music isn't just scoring what's happening in the scene, but it's also scoring how BMO feels. From the more imperative plot lines of the show, we can look at the Remember You song sung by the Ice King and Marceline. Just for context, Ice King shows up at Marceline's door wanting to write a song together. He brings an omnichord, a drum set, and a stack of old letters that he wants to use as lyrics for the song. To him, it's just a jam session, but to Marceline, it's so much more. Those letters are deeply emotional lyrics written by Simon Petrikov, the man Ice King used to be before his magic crown slowly erased his mind, the man who raised her in the post-apocalyptic world. Ice King, because of the crown, unfortunately doesn't understand nor remember the emotional meaning of the lyrics, but Marceline does, and the music throughout that scene holds on to that tension.
Wow, I wrote that? Hot stuff.
What? You don't remember what it means? Look!
The chords are electronic, inconsistent, and haunting with no clear center. Nothing resolves or settles, and it ties into the story because emotionally, nothing can ever really settle, if that makes sense. Marceline is reading a 1,000-year-old letter from someone who technically no longer exists, and instead is singing it back to the person he became.
This magic keeps me alive, but it's making me crazy, and I need to save you. But who's going to save me? Please forgive me for whatever I do when I don't remember you.
I don't know what's more depressing than that. Ice King's drumming is bombastic and completely arrhythmic, and the aloofness in his playing is kind of proof of his madness. He's a beat behind everything, out of step with his own song, until Marceline kind of guides him in. Even though he doesn't know or understand why the words matter, she does, and that gap between his oblivion and her groove shows and lives entirely in how the music is constructed. Adventure Time consistently lacks a consistent palette, but more or less creates different soundscapes across the show that communicates multiple different stories within the main plot. Number 2, interpretability. To me, some of the best songs are able to be understood or be able to be interpreted by almost anyone, if that makes sense. There's an episode where Finn is completely broken up over Princess Bubblegum. Per usual, and BMO plays this 8-bit chiptune song called All Gummed Up Inside.
Like there's a hole inside my heart. It's like this feeling is gonna consume me. If I keep waiting for this thing to start, oh, I feel like I'm all gummed up inside. It's like I'm all gummed up inside. It's like I'm all gummed up inside.
Oh, Finn.
It's a more melodic, genuinely catchy song, but later in the episode, Jake ends up performing a flipped lyric version of it for Flame Princess.
A serenade that Finn wrote for Milady.
Ooh.
Oh, Flame Princess, I think you're rad. I really want to kiss you right in front of your dad. 'Cause I think you're great, I wanna be your mate, or maybe go on a date. 'Cause it feels like there's a fire inside my body, like there's a fire inside my heart. It's like this fire is gonna consume me.
A fire inside my body?
Watching that scene as a young adult who's actually been through a little bit of what Finn is going through in that moment makes it hit a bit different. What I appreciate most about Finn as a character is that he gets it wrong sometimes, if not most of the time. He reacts badly and he makes mistakes, but watching him navigate that, sometimes appropriately and inappropriately, has honestly saved me from some of my own mistakes. Nothing in the show captures that better than Everything Stays. If you're watching this when you're younger, it may seem just like a somber song, but if you're in your 20s like me and you just left something behind, a place, a person, a version of yourself you can't get back, this song kind of opens up something in you.
Let's go in the garden. You'll find something waiting right there where you left it, lying upside down. When you finally find it, you'll see how it's faded. The underside is lighter when you turn it around. Everything stays right where you left it. Everything stays, but it still changes.
As someone who's gone all the way out here in California to pursue her creative endeavors, everything at my home in St. Louis stayed, but also changed. The song is a literal contradiction and also one of the realest songs I've ever heard and resonated with in a cartoon about growing up. Of course, I couldn't talk about Adventure Time without mentioning Rebecca Sugar. One of the storyboard artists and writers on the show wrote the song among so many other bangers on the show, but the fact that songs like this were tucked inside a kid's cartoon, songs that kids could grow into over the years without realizing it, honestly says everything about the intention and care behind the project. Number 3 and 4, visual identity and architecture. We are combining them because both kind of tie into each other, and also my camera's gonna die soon. When I think about architecture in music, The motifs, the reoccurring melodic DNA that threads through a project and makes everything feel connected. I assumed Adventure Time kind of had a system, some underlying musical logic tying it all together, and then I found out that it doesn't. There aren't really any reoccurring themes or motifs across the scores, which should feel like a problem, but somehow it isn't. I think if they had gone the traditional route, like a lot of cartoons do, like having a Finn theme, a Marceline theme, it would have made the world feel a bit smaller, and the whimsiness would have a lot more guardrails on it. That randomness, that sense that the score could go literally anywhere at any moment, is exactly what makes OO feel as strange and alive as it looks. When it comes to the character designs, they are lumpy and imperfect. Everything has this handmade warmth, like it was made by people who cared more about feeling than precision, and the music feels the same way. So if there are technically really no reoccurring motifs, what's the architecture? I think it's the texture itself. Bruh, count how many times I say texture in this video. The consistent lo-fi warmth, the handmade quality, and the emotional honesty sitting underneath even the silliest moments are very consistent. They could go from Finn singing, "I'm a tough tootin' baby, I can punch on your buns," all the way to the devastation of "I Remember You," without it ever feeling like two different shows.
I'm a tough tootin' baby, I can punch in your buns.
And what I mean by that is that you could close your eyes and still know what world you're in.
Music is powerful, man. It speaks to a primal pit in our brains. It makes anyone want to get up and get their knees going. Gotta get them pumping, pumping, pumping. Boom, 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 boom.
He's right. And I think Adventure Time is one of those few shows, during that time at least, that understood it. Before you head out, I decided to sample some of the songs and episodes from the series, so come along with me and check out my adventure. See what I did there? I'm in pain too, it's okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos. Thank you so much for all of the engagement, especially on a variety of my different platforms like TikTok and Discord. I really love talking to you guys on Discord, so if you would love to be part of the community and yap more with me and fellow creatives, definitely join my Discord, which will be in the link in the description below. If you like what you heard, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so you know when I upload next. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos and wanting to hear me yap. It makes me want to keep doing it and keep talking to you guys. I love that the things that I yap about, that other people are able to connect with it. I'm really grateful for the community that I'm building, and I really hope that I can continue to grow it further and acquire some more yappers. So thank you guys so much. Just found out today that Ariana Grande is dropping her 8th studio album called Pedal. If you don't know, I'm a diehard Ariana Grande fan. Don't want to hear it. Been a fan since I was 13, so I'm very hyped to hear that. And I'm curious if you guys would want to hear an album breakdown when that comes out, or a story breakdown. Obviously, we got months from now. You'll definitely get a couple videos before then. But once again, thank you guys for spending a bit of your time with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Have a nice day! I don't know how my lip gloss hasn't gotten on this mic yet. Like, I'm just all up in there.